So welcome to Challenge the Road. Have I got a story for you? But anyway, we're going to talk through EVs, buying your first car for your son or daughter, even for yourself, and why the market is crashing and EV prices are like that. What do you do? Where do you go? What do you buy? I've been watching quite a few videos lately on stuff where people have paid 120,000 for Taycans and they're worth 40,000. I said early on, and you guys are followers here, that EVs are going to be disposable vehicles, and we'll see why when we look at some of the prices here. But this story, now, I had a chat with my daughters, and I said, look, you need to sort of get a bit more streetwise. And I said, you're going into the big wide world. You know, when you buy stuff, you need to negotiate. You need to make sure you're getting the best price. You need to research stuff. Which is probably why you come here, because I do a lot for you. Maybe they will as well. But basically what happened was, I said, look, you know, you need to be able to negotiate. We had a good chat about money. I said, there's really some key things you need to understand, which is like APRs, mortgages, cars, leasing. Went through all that with them. They said, you know, obviously it's very different to their maths that they're doing at the moment, which is like algebra and different things that I have no idea about. But it was like a real world lesson. So I thought, well, that's gone quite well. So I come back in. Had a chat with the wife, said, yeah, it went well, you know. She said, oh, can you take one of them to a party? I said, yeah, I'll take it to a party. I'll go. When do I need to go? She said, you need to go now. I said, all right, okay, no problem. Jump in the car, chatting, going, you know, what did you think? Yeah, you know, some of them, you know, one's chatty, one's not so chatty, but yeah, you know, we need to know this, daddy, da-da-da. And anyway, we go along, and it's the raining like today. I mean, it's horrendous in England, but this river was flooding. And I thought, I need a picture of that because I want to show the fishermen on the fishing app I've got. So I said, look, let's wind down the window. Can you take a picture for me? She said, yeah, take a picture. Boom, takes the picture. Fine. And I'm thinking, she's not sending it to me. So anyway, we go along, another sort of 20 minutes, drop her off. I drive back off and I haven't got much signal, and I thought I'd pull over and I send her a message. I said, could you send me that picture? Because I want to send it. Only if you give me more screen time. So I'm now, I think I've created quite a big problem, because I said, what do you mean screen? She said, well, you told me I've got to negotiate. I said, yeah, but not with me. I'm your father. So anyway, it took me quite a lot of time to get this photo, and she said, look, you on Instagram, you give me like an hour, I want an hour and a half. I said, look, I'm not giving you anything. I said, just send me that photo. So anyway, it was it's quite a funny thing, really, and it did make me chuckle, but hopefully they're learning a bit more about cars, mortgages, things I can teach them on real world stuff that you really need to know. So going back to that, one of them will be 17, will be 16 soon, but obviously we want to get her a first car, and I've been looking forward to this since she was born, actually. I thought, right, I've got to get her a first car. I almost got her a first car like 4 years ago just for myself. I was going to get like a Megane RS, but it's quite interesting trying to get a first car, because I spoke to quite a few people about it, and I said, look, you've just got your son the first car, what do you think? And the first thing they said was insurance. So I've been doing quite a lot of work actually on insurance, engine size, what type of cars. And I've narrowed it down, I think, to 3 cars. So that's going to be another video on buying your first car and what I would go for. But I've narrowed it down to 3 cars now. Going on to the next thing is like these used cars. So I've been watching. We go on Auto Trader. Let's just put that on. Let's just screen record here. And we can go in. So EV prices are going through the floor, and I'm noticing that even with the Taycan, I didn't pay, you know, the full price. Obviously, I got 40,000 off it a year old, but you know, I've seen a recent video from Lee, the Mac Master. I'll put a link to his video here, and he's saying that EVs are a disposable item. Not saying I told it, but I did say that ages ago. And he's lost a fortune on his Taycan. But he's paid retail. He's paid like 120,000 for the Taycan, and his best bid is like 40, so he's taken an 80,000 hit. And then what I thought was, everyone's talking about all these EVs having a big hit. Let's talk about where the bargains are, because that's where I see it. So I thought, let's just start with like a VW And really, if we look at it, what's happening is these batteries have got an 8-year warranty. Manufacturers have not come out with anything else yet to talk about warranty. Now, on the Taycan, we had someone want to purchase the Taycan, but they wanted to trade in an ID3. I think it was an ID3 or ID5. But the problem is, again, these are dropping, and they're dropping fast. So if we look at, we're on here now, there's one here, 2021, 70 reg, and it's £15,000. So this car was 40 to 50k new, it's now 15. Should we be buying in? That's what's going through my mind. So where everyone's going, oh, I've lost so much money, why don't we think, you know, if they're like a milk float, I suppose, which is what he said on his video, then we should be buying in, or we should be buying his car. But where's the bottom? And I did say, I think like if we look at an ID3, that's a 2020 model, so it's say 3.5 years old. Maybe that's going to be £5,000 in a year's time, 2 years' time. But if you've only paid 15, what's the problem? Also, you could just probably pay outright. Why leasing that anymore? Why do that? Unless you're a company and you're offsetting against your profits and stuff, there's some bargains there. And I was thinking this morning, I thought, I wonder how much I can get, let's just say a Tesla Model 3. I actually found one up the road, we'll find it here. So Tesla Model 3, I thought they're going to be cheap, aren't they? So there's one here up the road from me, and what we're looking at, 15,990. There's quite a lot of miles on that, 95. Let's have a look here. 16,9. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. So we're looking at 16,990 blue range plus. So it's probably 300 mile range. Might be less now because to test that 73,000 miles. So 254 range, 16.5. It's probably description. So I did see one on here that's even VAT-Q. Let's have a look. Yeah, VAT qualified. So you could get the VAT back on this. So 17,000. So we got 20% off that. Well, that's about 3,400, isn't it? I don't need a calculator. So say it's 13,500 for a Tesla Model 3, 2020 plate. That's a good buy, isn't it? Why would you buy new? What should we do? Should we pick someone else? Let's pick. You know what the car I really liked when it came out was that Model X. And I know they were like 100 grand. And I was thinking this morning, what are they now? Oh, 22. Crikey. That's a 2017. So the battery's got 8-year warranty. So we've got a couple of, well, probably about a year left. It's a £100,000 car, 22,000, 23,000, 23,900, 25,900. I'm not 100% sure on all the models. I assume that 75, 90, maybe they get quicker. Dual motor, I assumed 4-wheel drive. Here we go, look, 26.9, Sub-Zero, 61k miles, 26, 27. Let's go to the next page, 27. Let's try and find a bit of a bargain one. Okay, so 27,500, 52,000 miles, so good mileage. So what are these going to be? This is, you know, £100,000 car. I'm sure it was 100 or 90, or I think there's like a self-drive pack, which was about 11,000 option. So that's that with the Tesla. Let's just try and think of another one, like, what did I have before? I had the Audi, the last Audi Q-tron. I know I sold that for 48. Q4 e-tron, sorry. 22, 23, 24, 25. I mean, 25,000, that's, you know, 18 months old. 25,000, 20,000 miles. I mean, these are becoming just bargain. I said before, these like a little runaround that you just have. I mean, there was another one, wasn't there? What was that e-tron GT? Do you remember that come out? And they were like 100 and something thousand. I remember looking at them thinking, oh, I really like that, but it's way too much money. Look at that, 49, 50. And this is before this recession starts to get really bad. Now, at the moment, I think it's really, really hard to make money, to survive, to do what you're doing. But I think these are going to come down even more because of this time. And also we're seeing like car supermarkets, Cazoo, massively in trouble. Polestar, that was the one, wasn't it? They 18 billion valuation a year ago, now 0. Their cars are going to be good prices. And how can your value go from 18 billion to 0? But I know they're good cars. I've heard, oh, here you go, Polestar 2. I'm not sure how much these are new. 70,000 miles, 20 grand. It's making me also think about what this first car is going to be and what my next car is going to be as well. So Polestar 2, 78 kilowatt battery, 78 kilowatt battery. VAT qualifying, 22, look, 78 kilowatt. Let's see what that range is. Home charging, running costs. I don't know if you can see it there. Features and spec, here we go. Performance. Battery. 292 range. I know you can't quite see that on the screen, but 292. So say it's gone down a bit, say it's 200. Surely that's a good buy. So these EVs now, maybe we've got to turn it round in our favour. I know they haven't been the best experience. I don't think it's the right thing to do. I've said that. If you bought in new, you needed to get out. I need to sell my Taycan. I've had a lot of offers on the Taycan, but they can't get out their EV. That's the problem. Right, so the next one is, we spoke about some bits on first car, and I know that's for another video, but I'm looking at, they don't really want an EV. They're telling me that they see things about them catching fire and I'm not saying they do, but I'm just saying that's the first time I got the Taycan, they said, is this full electric? And I said, yes. They said, these catch fire. I'm like, okay, where are you seeing all this stuff? TikTok, right. That's the world we're in, TikTok world. I was thinking of a Mini, like a Mini One, because it's a really cool car. I'm trying to think, like a 3-door, so I'm going to go coupe. And the average first car purchase price is 5,750. So that's what I'm going to limit myself to, 5,750. And I'm going to look at cars in that range. I think it needs to be a 1 litre. Petrol or diesel? I think it'll probably be a petrol. Engine size. Oh, these coupes are 1.6. I won't go too much because it's going to spoil this, because I want to do a series of buying the first car, but I'm looking at Minis there. Now, my next car, and I keep changing my mind, which I like to do a lot, actually. I'm thinking about getting the Land Rover Defender, the one I had, and I was obviously saying, you know, hybrid's really good, and I do really, really like hybrid. I think it's great. But I'm just wondering whether there's some bargains out. The way things are moving now, I think the EV thing's just going to stall to a halt. I really do. I think that there's too many people, range anxiety, range problems, there's too many. So I'm going to put my neck out there and say that manufacturers are going to massively struggle with EVs. So I think the petrol and diesel ones are going to start holding their value more, because it's going to be flooded with EVs, and then where's everyone going to go? They're going to come back to petrol and diesel. Then you're going to have a shortage of cars because the manufacturers aren't building them. Well, that's the cunning plan. That's what I think might happen. So I was thinking of maybe getting a petrol, if I'm not going in the cities and stuff, maybe like a V8 Defender, or just go back to the old days of, you know, like an X6M. And I know they're not that economical and stuff, but they are, because they're second hand. I'm buying it second hand. The first, you know, it's been built. It's there. I'm not creating another problem by buying another new car. And like the new Taycans come out, so there's going to be loads of second-hand Taycans. But who's going to buy the new Taycan, another EV, when you can buy a Taycan so cheaply? So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if everyone's thinking the same. That's the reason for the channel, is, you know, I want you to comment. I want you to say, Richard, yeah, I think you're on it here. I mean, I've been doing it a long time. I love cars, and I love everything about the market and buying cars and having the ability to buy cars of my childhood. So yeah, so it was just really like an update to say the market is just, but really think about what you're going to buy, what you're going to do. I get lots of messages every week. That's not to say just message me on what car to buy, but from friends. I've done two this week already. I've done quite a bit of car insurance work as well. If you're buying a Land Rover or a car with keyless go, make sure you get an insurance quote first. You have to do that now. I've actually been in touch with obviously the people I use and said, look, I'm looking at getting a Defender. Come back to me first with a quote and that. Obviously I want to be in the game with everyone on this Land Rover thing, but I don't want to be paying massive premiums. I'm the same as you. So they're coming back to me with a deal. So yeah, it's just an update video. I hope you enjoy these. We're going to do one about this buying the first car and the journey. I'm looking forward to that. I'm quite keen to get a second-hand EV. And that probably means the next video I probably would have bought one. But cheap. And just see if it is just a good little runaround car. If I can get, I don't know, let's try and get a name, 80% off the new price. That's what I'm going to write that down, 80%. So I'm going to get a car that's 80% off the new price, an EV, and run it round and see what I think. Because I think there's some massive bargains there. So hope you enjoy these videos. It really helps if you can share, like, subscribe if you can. That really helps the channel. There is some membership options there if you get a chance to have a look. But yeah, this market has got a long way to go. And yeah, I'm looking forward to keeping you updated. And I'll see you again soon.